3 hidden costs of running improperly. Number 1, lost confidence. If they run improperly, they're going to lose confidence because they're not running correctly, and they don't know that they're not. They don't know why they're not running faster, and that's what's the frustrating part of it is. And once we let them know what it is, then they can get a little bit less frustrated and they can start working on the right things. And then eventually, once they fix their running form and they start running faster, that confidence is going to come back. So kids see themselves, they're working hard, right? They're working hard out there. And that frustration is going to set in that I was just talking about. And if you ignore it, they're going to just start to believe that they're just slow. We don't want them to start believing that they're just slow, because then that breaks the confidence. They're always going to say that, hey, I'm just slow, and they make jokes out of it. I've got a kid in my program right now. He's not slow anymore, but when he started, his coaches and everybody would make jokes about him being slow. One of the biggest jokes was, hey, I'm getting ready to time your kid's 60. Give me a calendar, right? And so he comes to me and he's like, yeah, I'm just slow. And he makes jokes about it. But just little by little, it's chipping at his confidence, all right? Little by little, every time he says it, just slow, it's chipping at his confidence, all right? So now he gets in the game and he's thinking to himself, man, I got to hit a home run or I'm not going to make it to base. And to his credit, he does hit home runs, a lot of them. So he doesn't have to run fast, but it chips at their confidence every single time. Hey, man, I'm just slow, all right? But when you fix form, man, that confidence definitely comes back, all right? Number 2, wasted time and money. I know this is going to relate to a lot of you parents, all right? So you're going to weigh a lot of money on sleds. You're going to spend a lot of money on parachutes. You're going to spend a lot of money on boxes and maybe even buying programs where you guys are implementing this stuff, all for it to not work. And I know that's frustrating as a consumer. It's not even just a parent, but as a consumer to buy something and it doesn't work. Have you ever went to Amazon, and I don't want to make a company seem like they're bad, but go to Amazon or something like that, and you order something and you get it and it doesn't work, how frustrated you are. So I understand how frustrating it can be to have something and pay for something and it doesn't work, all right? So if you don't fix this, guys, it's going to keep getting ignored. Then you're going to keep investing and trying to find the next thing. And then you're still going to end up with stuff that doesn't work until you find someone who knows exactly what they're doing, who's done this for 16 years. Sound like anyone? But we want to close that gap, man. We want to close that gap here. And the way to close it, guys, a way to bridge it from your kids being good and moving them to elite is that speed. And then the way to get that speed, guys, is to teach them how to run properly. All right, so it's moving on to number 3. And this is probably one of the biggest ones: increased risk of injury. All right? Sloppy form equals unnecessary strain on knees, on hips, on ankles. And if you ignore this, the more time that you ignore this, guys, what's going to happen is over time, those things are going to start hurting them, okay? They're going to be, even if they're young right now, say 7, 8, 9, 10, and they're doing this and they continue those bad habits all the way up into their high school, you're going to start seeing them get a lot more injuries. And they're like, why is my kid always getting injured? Why are you so injury prone? It's because you're running improperly. So all of the things that are associated with running, ankles, knees, hips, stuff, go bad because we're running improperly. So if your kid is doing this, they're going to be ending up on the sideline more. They're going to lose their opportunities. And how many people have you seen? How many times have we heard the story of a kid coming up because the guy that in front of them got hurt, and now they step up into that role and then they're able to show what they can do, and then they become the starter from then on, right? We've heard that with a lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL. That's what happened with Tom Brady, right? He was playing behind, somebody got hurt, he stepped up in the role, he was the quarterback from then on, right? And so if your kid is in that starting role, we don't want them to be hurt. And then I'm not saying don't give another kid a chance, but I'm just saying if your kid is the guy or the girl and they go out, they get hurt, somebody steps in and then they try to come back, and then sometimes they come back and they're just never the same. So we don't want that to happen, especially younger kids. We don't want them hurt at all. Imagine having your 12-year-old out there and he's got an ACL injury. That's an adult type of injury. That's not a kid type injury, right? There's no distinction between adult and kids injuries. But what I'm saying, that's typically what, when you hear that, it's typically an adult injury, right? And so we don't want that to happen to our kids. So what we need to do is we need to teach them all the things that we can teach them that's done properly, so that they don't have to go through that. That's running properly. If that's lifting weights, right? Because lifting weights, we think lifting weights and doing strength is to get stronger, which that is part of it. But one of the main reasons why we lift and we do that so we can get our muscles stronger is so that we prevent injuries, all right? One of the reasons why we stretch, we think, is to loosen up. It is, for some part of it is, yes, we're loosening up when we're stretching. But another reason why we're stretching is so we prevent injury, all right? For example, we do, remember, for those who are old enough to remember, V, sit, and reach. Remember, we used to sit down with our legs in a V and we'll reach and see how far we can go. Imagine if you could go all the way down to your toes. And let's say you're playing football, kids playing football, they land on their butt, somebody lands on their back, they have to go, their back goes down in the V, sit, and reach position. They tear something if they're flexible, they can do it and be down there and it's not a problem for them because they're flexible, right? So that's what we're talking about. And proper mechanics is going to help prevent those type of injuries, all right? So imagine your kid out there running faster, smoother, and with more confidence without wasting all that time. You don't have to do a bunch of workouts. See, that's another thing. Parents think they got to do all of these workouts. They got to do all these crazy things. You don't have to do all those things. And you only need about 3 times a week for about 20 minutes to work on proper running, and your kids will get faster, guys. I promise you. I do this every single month with my one-to-one people. But listen, if you want a way to fix this, and you want to fix this now, and you don't want your kids to be injured, you don't want to keep wasting money, and you don't want them to lose confidence, you want to build confidence, you want to save some money, you want something that actually is going to work. That's why I built my Speed Form Fixer system. It's the exact program I use with my high-ticket athletes that I've been working with for the last couple of months here. I just reopened it back in last month. So it's now available for you to use at home. The same things that I've been teaching them, you can use this at home now. You can get it. It's only $27. If you want to stop wasting time, you want to see real results, you can click the link down in the description and you can grab that today and you can start fixing your kids' form today. So go down to the link in the description. You can start working on that ASAP. It comes directly to your phone, to your tablet, right to your email, so you can access the actual system. And it's simple. All you need is 3 times a week, 20 minutes each time, 1 hour a week, and your kid can get faster in 30 days or less if you do exactly what this program tells you to do. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for listening. Hit the like button, share, do all of the YouTube things if you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube. If you are listening back on one of the podcast platforms, go down to the description under the show notes and all those things, and you can get all of that. So listen, remember that everything you do today affects your future. So remember, tomorrow, I'm Coach Harper, and I will talk to you next time.